So let's take a look at our Black Panther melee build. This build is very good. It has consistent stats for a melee build. You're lacking ranged. You have a decent bit of heroic, and you have a hell of a lot of melee. So let's dive on into this. First off, obviously, Stone of Lethal Will, bro. Increases damage buff by 4 seconds, and you can activate a damage buff every 5 minutes. Increase critical hit chance and damage boost is active when damage boost is active. So this is great for our first piece. Our first piece is the Thoughtless Vibranium Payload Claws. And from what I can tell from this payload, and from what the vibranium thing, what vibranium damage does, essentially it's like a tick damage, and then I think they explode after you do a certain amount of damage to them. So essentially every time we had a critical hit, which is a 42% chance, but with my skills, I think I have like another added. Let's look with our champion skills under utility. No, not utility. Under tactical, we have. Is it? Where is that ability at? Have I not put any in? Or is it over here? Oh, here it is. Utility boosters in the second column. Or is this a row? No, this is the row. Second column. Permanently boost the chance of activating perks by 3%, and we have 6% of that. So any boost to the chance of activating perks is on there. So this is actually first piece. This is actually at 48% right now. And I think so. The heavy combo finishers inflict vibranium damage as well, and then Panther's Cowl is active. We got 15% damage reduction. So Panther's Cowl is, I think, an intrinsic ability. So whenever we have this going, we can get a negative damage reduction right here. We won't be using this that much. It's literally just to block oncoming attacks. We can if we want to, but we don't need it. Next piece is the range piece. Range pieces vary a lot. If we want a defense buff, which I would probably use with like boss fights, we can just throw daggers until we get it and then go in. But just with a ranged piece, just get might on it. Just get might. Might and any other good skills. Like defense. That would be what is that? What is defense? Is that valor? Whatever increases defense or heroic value, get that with might on a piece and you'll be good. Now, I have two different pieces for this. They're not exotic. I don't have any exotics in this build. Exotics are hard to come by. And when you do come by them, 9 times out of 10, it's not something you want to use in the build you're currently running. So we got two pieces. We got the reactive buff. Everybody knows the reactive buff piece. 17% chance to get a damage buff. This one is pretty high. It's only a 4-star, so we could probably get a better one out of this if we farmed for another one. So right now it's at like 23% with our champion increase. But the piece that might increase your survivability a little bit, a lot actually, because as you can see, we got this 31% right here. Hold on. This increases by 31%. Our defense increases by 31% with this. And if you look at the ability, gain recovery beads for a brief duration after defeating enemies with intrinsic attacks or perfectly evading an incoming attack, right? So I like this piece for two of these skills. So if you're not using a damage buff thing right now. So this, if you're not using this and you're using this, you automatically get a 20% increase stun status and normal damage of intrinsic attack. So any intrinsic attack you do, which is when you hold R2 while performing attacks, they become intrinsic. Some of them become intrinsic. So you're automatically doing flat out 20% more damage. That's is why I also want to change up the last piece in this build. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But the recovery beads, if you don't know what the recovery beads are, it's a part of your kit in the support heroic that you get on the second tier, and they give you willpower. And essentially, this piece right here grants you that recovery bead for half the time that it has on your heroic, on your support heroic. So you'll be in combat, do a perfect dodge, get a recovery bead. Do a perfect evade, recovery bead. Defeat an enemy with an intrinsic attack, recovery bead. So it keeps you in that battle. But I don't know if there's a piece like this that has might on it. I've gotten maybe 3 pieces identical to this, and they've had the identical skill set: the resilience, the intensity, and the resolve. So I don't know if you'll be able to get might on this. So you're going to take a hit to your might. It's not that much of a hit. So right now we're at, it's significant, but it's not that significant to where you're like, oh my God, I need to put this piece. I need to get a different piece. So right now we're at 2631. Put this piece on. We're at 2376, which is about, what, an eighth. Pretty much in 1/8 reduction in our damage, which isn't too bad. So it's just up to you. If you feel yourself dying a lot, then use this piece. Next, this is the last piece, which I want to get might on. I want to get a might damage above piece. So I want to get this piece right here without the PIM on it. This with damage, defeat 3 enemies in rapid succession, gets you a damage buff. Trance takedown grants damage buff, and then whatever first skill that is. So that's what I want out of this piece right here. Obviously with might, and then I'd be able to sub this out with this, because with this piece, sub it out with this piece, because then we'd be getting a damage buff from something else. Now, when I do use this piece, I do switch over to one of these targeted buff pieces, so that I can get a damage buff by throwing daggers, because you will need a damage buff on those higher level missions, specifically the Tachyon Rifts, the Omega level threats. Those enemies are 5 levels above you and they hit hard, and if you're not hitting hard enough, you will die. So you will need that damage buff somehow, some way. Last pieces of gear that we need to look at are the red ISOs. I have a blue ISO that's better overall. Ranks me up to 183, I believe. Yeah, no, I guess not. I guess that purple ISO is where it's at. But wait, 3223. And we got 3252. Okay, so this one is good. I think it's the other one that's not as good, that we can crank it up a little bit more. Where's it at? Gotta be this first one then. Yeah, we can crank this up to 3283, which is not that much in damage, increase in damage. So I just rock it just because I want to be at at 150 level. But yeah, I'm going to try to find some tough enemies to fight, just so I can show off this build, show y'all how I use it. And yeah, come check out the stream sometime. Twitch, Twitch at Trip Fall Down. I try to stream early in the mornings. Um, or sometimes stream
You have no idea how much this is going to help the resistance.
in the evenings if my friends decide to get on. We'll play like some Call of Duty, some Deep Rock Galactic. So come out for that. But other than that, I'm probably gonna fast forward to fight some high level enemies and yeah. So quick thing I forgot. The devastating daggers. So with the devastating daggers increases. So we have these 3 skills for the devastating daggers. Actually 2. So we don't need this third one. We can do anything with this third one that we want to. Just throw it anywhere. But with the devastating daggers, you get crazy damage. This is why using melee with Black Panther is so it's pretty much so crucial. So let's have a look at this. Devastating daggers. Each dagger that is on target will apply a debuff that increases melee damage taken by 3%. The debuff can stack up to 3 times. The daggers will dematerialize after a short duration, reducing the effect of the debuff when it does. So, essentially what I'm getting from this is when I apply it, I can apply this up to 3 times, this debuff 3 times, which is 3%, right? So that's 9% overall. Now, when we go into our mastery skills, increases the effect of the devastating daggers debuff by 30% in the duration that each of the daggers remain in the target by 3%, right? And we can also stack this one more time. So let's look at that. So we go back to the devastating dagger. Boom. If this is correct, and if I'm thinking this is correct, increases the effect of the devastating dagger debuff by 30% and the duration of each of the daggers remain in the target by 3%, right? This is probably totally off because from what I'm getting from this, I'm getting a 33% increase times 3 plus 1, so times 4. Which I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just a flat out 30% increase on top of what already is there. So I'm thinking we're getting, let's times that by 4 now. We get a 12 plus 30%. I think we're getting like a 42% increase in damage. I don't think it's what I think it is. I don't think it's a 33% increase, right? Times that by 4. And we're looking 33 times 4 is 132% damage increase if we throw 3 of these daggers on somebody. I don't know if that's accurate. Sorry about it. Let's. Oh, you got me. Damn, bro. You got that damage, bro. Oh, we about to go for a little boy. We also need to be using this more. I'll take that. Give me that. He did hella damage right there. We got this intrinsic shit right here. And pop that. Oh shit.